Sources say that King Charles is, quote, very involved with President Trump and First Lady Melania's state visit. According to Vanity Fair, there are, quote, a number of issues he's eager to discuss with Trump. Neil Sean with me now. He's a royal watcher. Neil, Charles should not be involved in politics.
Absolutely.
He's not supposed to be, but he's going to be, isn't he? On climate, he will do it.
Of course. I mean, spot on, because the problem that you have with the Queen, we knew nothing. You know, we didn't know any of those conversations. The problem that you've got, as you know, with the Prince as he was, the Prince of Wales, he's had years to develop his thoughts. We've seen the letters, we've seen his thoughts on architecture and all sorts of things. So consequently, people are assuming he will bring this in. The true version of events that I've been told is he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers, and he certainly doesn't want a repetition of what happened when President Trump sat down with Keir Starmer and the Sadiq Khan moment came up, right? And so he doesn't want any of that. So I would imagine that would be behind closed doors. That depends if President Trump brings that out. But I wouldn't assume he wouldn't, in fact.
I would imagine President Trump will have something to say, even if it's in private.
We love him.
I think he'll push him.
Yeah.
What do you say? Wait a minute. What do you say? We love him?
The Brits love President Trump. Don't, you know, whatever people say, when he spoke for us about that incident, you know, with the Mayor of London and all of that, yes, it might have been choice language, but actually that was very well received. And the fact that he's brought so much business into London, the hotels are full, people are interested, it's a buzzing place. You know, the Mayor of London should be very grateful to the President for bringing all of this business, all of Fox, all of these things over here. It's good for business.
Now, there is an anti-Trump demonstration going on. It's right behind us, actually, in central London. But the way it looks to me at the moment is that the protests against President Trump have been more muted than they were in the first time around, the first state visit.
I think that's really because, you know, when you remember the first time around, President Trump was finding his feet. He's definitely a different president this time around. I think it's a lot more collective, more together. And also, when you look at the people, you've got to remember that this is midweek. People are not available, say, at the weekend. There's not really that much interest in this march. It is quite flatlining, do you know what I mean?
Okay. Now, Kate Middleton. She's expected to play, again, quoting now, a pivotal role in the state visit. Do you think this is a turning point for the Princess of Wales?
What we're really seeing, Stuart, is very clever this. You know, as you know, the King got a health issue. And what we're seeing is Catherine and William taking on more responsibility. And this really is almost training in front of the world stage. This is what you will be doing in the future. Catherine, everybody wants to meet her, the Princess of Wales. She's the one that can sell out magazines. She's the one that the public are interested in. Catherine and Melania together is huge box office. And I would think that, yeah, exactly, a beautiful lady, the First Lady. And I think that that's going to work very well for both of them. And I think that will cement our relationship even further. You can always rely on the girls.
But the world seems fascinated by British royalty. It's always amazing to me. No, but you made a living out of it.
Yeah, but then again, you know, I suppose. But, you know, I'm as intrigued as most people, because when you look at the soldiers and everything that's gone through, you know, the army, all that pomp and circumstance is wonderful. And where else do you get that? You know, if I was the president and you're going down in that carriage procession, wow, all this for me is brilliant. And, you know, that's part of history. Not many people get to that part of history.
He likes it.
I loved it. I would love it, yeah.
Our president, my president, I'm an American.
Yeah.
He loves this.
Yeah.
Laps it up.
Of course he does. But, you know, what we have to be grateful for is, against all the politicians around the world who fall out, whether it be, you know, Ukraine's, all that sort of stuff, the royal family can unite this. This is what they're good at. And ultimately, they are sort of a company, a firm, whatever you want to call them, that don't get political, but then can put on a world, you know, performance like this. And suddenly people go, you know what, this is good. This is Great Britain. Maybe we should be doing business with them. And President Trump receiving that, and the state dinner tonight is going to be magnificent, let me tell you. I've seen on the inside what's going on in there. Wonderful.
I need a Prince Harry update.
Oh,
I know that he got together with his father, King Charles. First time in 19 months they got together.
Yeah.
But he still seems estranged from William and Kate.
The only story, really, that people have not picked up on is he needed permission from the King to go to Ukraine. The British government had given him permission. He needed the King's permission. Hence the reason there was a small, you know, window of opportunity.
That's it? Just permission to go to Ukraine?
Yeah, and everybody's spinning the story as if it's reconciliation. Harry did the interview with the tabloid, as you know, saying, next year it's about the focus on my father. How about focusing on maybe Meghan's father?
OK. Is Meghan still unpopular in Britain?
Well, you've been here now. What do you think?
I've not done a survey of British people on the media.
The trouble is, honestly, Stuart, you know, they have wonderful windows of opportunity and they seem to blow it. You know, that visit with Harry last week in London, went very well. Then he goes over and does the interview and blows all the good work that everybody's done. Meghan Markle is not popular simply because at this point she threw all of what you've seen away at Windsor today to Hawk Wine on Instagram.
Neil Sean, you're much in demand for the next few days, and thank you for being with us this
A real pleasure to see you in the flesh, Stuart.
Thank you.